Hello, I am Astrid, I am Wattle and Wool, and I thought I would take you out into my local park, which is just beautiful, and talk to you here for at least some of this. So first of all, I would like to pay my acknowledgements and respects to the elders past, present and emerging of the Whadjuk Noongar people, the land on which I stand today. So hello, it has been a while and I am gonna have my hair flying everywhere because I forgot a hair lucky. But let's chat. How are you? How are you going? I am gonna grab my coffee here. I am doing really well. I'm doing really well. I'm busy. I'm so busy. And I've just got so much stuff for work going on. And then I've got so much just like life stuff going on, and then I've got so much knitting stuff going on, so there's quite a bit happening. But what I'm going to do today, I'm going to show you what I've been working on lately, and I brought like the most touched items I've brought with me, and I brought one other one that I thought you might giggle at, and then I will probably end up going back home, and I've got a whole lot of stuff to give away. So I've got some giveaways from today, like that I will be giving away, and then I've got other ones that I will be talking about that you can enter. So I've got, so many things. So there's probably like the worst amount of shade on my face as well. It's probably really dark, but hopefully it will be okay. So to start off, I've been working on my Cloudbow dress. And this is a dress that was released in the Pom Pom magazine, and I keep forgetting who it was designed by, but I think it's Reed Kane, something like that. I will put it up below, but this is what I've got so far. So it is super light and fluffy. It is also so warm, like it'll sit on my lap and then I have to turn it over because I'm knitting it, in the round, and I can feel like the cooler air hit where it's been like heating up, if that makes sense. So it's a very warm dress, and this is knit out of suri silk, which was dyed up for me by the amazing Wool and Works, who is Chloe, and she's a lovely friend of mine. I'm so thrilled I can say she's my friend. So this pink colour is tickled pink. No, it's not, it's Rosella. I keep saying it's tickled pink. It is not, it's Rosella. And the other kind of fairy floss colour is Me as a Bird. So I feel like I'm just going to title this episode Unrealistic Expectations, and I have decided that I'm going to try and knit this like as quickly as possible. And I've got a made up deadline in my head, and if I don't meet the first deadline, that's totally fine because I will meet the second one, but I'll tell you about why. So this so far is just the top bit. I don't know what you're gonna say. I actually did put the neck on it because I wanted it to feel a bit more structured and as if I'm getting it done. I actually really like doing the finishing. If I know it's gonna be a long piece, I like doing the neck finishings just so I can see how it fits on. I know a lot of people also appreciate doing this. And I held two of the strands double to be able to do the neck and the cuffs. I really love how these play into each other. The pink and the pink that's shot through in here, it just catches every now and again and just makes me smile. It is so beautiful and I'm just so excited with it. So I've done the picking up for the ruffle, and now I'm knitting on it, and I'm planning on doing several ruffles. So it's going to not be, the original Cloudbow is you pick up kind of under bust for a ruffle and then it just goes straight, and then again right at the bottom it ruffles. I'm actually planning on doing this more as a tiered, so it's going to be ruffle, ruffle, ruffle is kind of the plan. I was thinking maybe I should put some more of the pink in the ruffle, and I'm still unsure if I'm going to do that, so I'm going to let this section here go for quite a while. I want this to be like the main piece, I guess, and then I'm going to put on another ruffle, and I'm not sure if I want to do a pink stripe and then another Me as a Bird ruffle and then finish it with the pink. I'm still kind of figuring that one out. But yeah, so I guess we'll see how this goes. So my unrealistic expectation that I know is unrealistic, that I know is completely wild and ridiculous, and I won't get it done, but hey, it's fun to dream. The Year 12 ball is coming up on Friday, and it would be super cute if I could wear this for the ball. I don't think I'll get it done for Friday. I just don't think that'll happen. Not with everything else I've got to do and all the marking that I really need to get on with. But it would be such a sweet dream to be able to wear something that I've made at the ball, and I kind of love the idea. I also know the Year 12s would laugh at me because they've seen me like since they started school, kind of, since I started school, and so they would all laugh at me, but I think it would be really cute. If not, that's okay. My last day of school is the Thursday before the Good Friday, so I think Thursday the 6th of April, and I will be wearing it then on my last day. So no matter what, this will be worn at school, because as I've explained it before, the kids are the ones who actually wound all of this for me. So I've got all their hand wound balls. Where are we? Got one little one here, another one a bit bigger here. So if you can see, I don't even know if you can see, terrible lighting. These are wound in a way that I personally would never wind them, but the students did them, and I'm very proud of their effort. So I'm going to, I feel like this is the dress of my school. So yeah, so I'm gonna try and put this in. So they're unrealistic expectations, and I know it, but that's okay. I should mention as well what I am wearing. This is the Gem the Label dress, and it is handmade, I think it's dyed, hand dyed, but it's linen. It's by an Australian fashion brand that is pretty much just starting. So it's really exciting. I love catching people when they're at like the beginning of their amazing fame, as I believe that this will happen. And yeah, so this is GTL, Gem the Label, and I would highly recommend if you really like ethically produced and ethically sourced Australian brands. I would highly recommend this. This is the Aurora dress, and it's just beautiful. It's floaty, it's tiered, it's lovely. It's basically what I want my Cloudbow to become. The second project I'm working on is going to be a gift for someone that I work with, and so because of that I'm not going to talk too much about it, and I would love to show you when it's properly finished. But this is, I've spent a couple of nights on it, so not too long, but you know, enough time that it's starting to become what it is. And I am using Once Upon a Corgi, who is now Plies and Hellhounds. This is her Hello Princeling colourway in the 100% superwash BFL. It's the aran weight, so it's 100 grams per 181 yards. And if I show you the colour, again, this lighting is terrible, but it is just beautiful. And I'm pairing it with mohair that I don't have on me because I took it off so that it would be less bulky, but it is called Sea Naiad, and again, it is by Plies and Hellhounds, and I just think that the colourway is beautiful, and I'll show you in a second. So this is going to be a gift for someone that I work with, and she often gets quite cold. I don't think she watches these, so it's okay that I can say and show you, but she often gets quite cold, and I have really wanted to make something, and then I asked her what her favourite colour was, and she was like, I don't really know, maybe blue? And I was like, perfect, I will make you something in maybe blue. So this is what I've got so far. It will be a really simple triangular shawl. I cast on with a garter tab, and then, I cast on with a garter tab, and then I've just done really simple increases. I've done them on the side and in the middle. And as is typical me, I've managed to not count properly, and so they are not actually symmetrical sides, but that's okay. So this is going to be, it's garter stitch all the way through, and it's got these beautiful kind of slip stitches on the front just to give it that texture, and I think it really pops. And then the lace, hopefully you can see. Can you see? Yes, you can. Hopefully you can see that the lace looks like little houses, and this is a design I've had in my mind for a while to do this lace pattern. So I love that you can see these shots of red and blue and green throughout this lace. If you can, I don't know if you can see that exactly, but it is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm just so thrilled that I'm using this really nice yarn for a really special person who I completely admire and look up to so much. So I'm on to the third section, back to the garter section, whatever it's going to be. And I actually, when I decided to do this, I thought that I would also, sorry, I've got hair everywhere. I thought that I would also make this for me using some Latvian yarn. So this is going to be a gift using some really nice yarn that I purchased, and then I'm going to make a version for myself using some Latvian yarn with some other things that I've purchased as well. And if I really like it, the second one, then I might write this up as a pattern. Right now I am writing what I'm doing, but I'm not necessarily sure if I'm going to make a pattern or not. It could just be a beautiful, easy gift. So this is this second thing I've been working on frantically. The third thing I have not been working on frantically. I have been very much taking my time with it, but I wanted to show you it because it is stunning, and I'm so excited for how this is going to turn out. So this, if you remember, I had gotten the advent calendar from Olivia&Oliver Fibers, and it's the Wanderlust. So I got the 2021 and the 2022, and then I put them all together in a kind of like a rainbow or a color set, and I wanted to make a blanket. So I also bought some Daffodil Road yarn and in the Almond, in the Scandinavian colourway, and I am going to be making a blanket. So I've cast on and I've gotten started, and I am obsessed. It takes so long to do one row. Just one row, it takes forever. I was knitting this with a friend, and I knit, I think it was like 4 rows in total in the 3-hour Pandora movie, like the new Avatar movie. It took me 3 hours to knit about 4 rows. So the thing's a mammoth. It takes so long, but it's so beautiful. So the white is the Daffodil Road, and then these little minis are the mini skeins. And on the back, you can see a little bit better what I've done. So I've knit this is 10 rows, so I've knit as much of the mini as I can to knit a complete row. And then on the very final row, I have turned it around and picked up the two kind of like the start and the end, and I've knit together to make it into a pleat. And I'm going to be doing that the whole way along. I'm up to the second colour, and I'm keeping a little bit of the minis, so whatever is left I'm keeping them, and I'm going to be turning them into tassels. So I'm going to have tassels on the corners of this, and it's just going to be a big beautiful throw row, throw blanket, throw everything, and it's going to be gorgeous. It's very soon, I can see it becoming not very travel easy and travel friendly, but it is just delightful right now to knit on, and I am loving it. And yeah, I probably knit, this is a really easy one that I don't need to think about. So this is one that I keep in my car a lot of the time. If I'm like in a queue or if I'm just bored, I can easily pick this one up. And yeah, it's really simple knitting, so I don't need to think about it. Unless it's the final row of the plate, then I do need to think about it, and that's easy to do at home. So it's been a delightful project. Project number 4 that I have been frantically working on, and this one does have a deadline, and it's a bit more of a forceful deadline. My amazing, incredible, beautiful, wonderful mother has a birthday coming up very soon in the end of March, and so I have until the end of March to finish this blanket for her. And I'm a bit hamstrung by my own planning, where I am only knitting on it when we spend time together. So luckily Mama and I, we love a couple of Netflix shows, and so we are watching them together with dinner, and usually we look at each other when it ends and we're like, one more. So I've been working on this blanket whenever I am with her, and it's growing quite well. It will definitely be wider than it will be tall, which, I mean, she can just use it this way, so it should be fine. And I am up to colour number 6, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, number 6. And I got tired of winding all the minis on their own, so I just did them all in a big giant cake, ball. And I am starting to get really into hand winding. I really prefer it almost. So all of my balls now look like this. They've got a little hole in the middle where my thumb goes in, and it's quite meditative and therapeutic for me to hand wind my balls, which will come into a giveaway a little bit later. So yeah, this is what I'm working on at the moment, and every time I'm with Mama, I just pull it out and start working on it. And I feel like we've gotten a fair amount of the way, but it is the 10th of March today, and there's approximately 31 days in March. So I have 21 days to get all of this done, and that's hard. So I might have to break my own rule and do it when I'm not spending time with her, but that was the best way, because I remember the last episode I was saying, how on earth do I work on my blankets? Like, how do you just make time for them? And I decided to only do this one when I'm with Mum, because it'll make time for her, and I thought that would be a really good way of doing it, and it is, because I've gotten heaps done, but at the same time I need more done. So that is what I'm currently planning and working on. Yes, so this is using Daffodil Road Yarns, the same blanket yarn that I thought would be for my other blanket, because I couldn't find anything else and I wanted to start this quickly, so I'm using this one. And I am using Ash&Eve Advent from 2022, the Steampunk collection, and this is making a beautiful rainbow blanket for my mum. Speaking of my absolutely wonderful mum, I would love to remind you that my mum actually has a YouTube channel, and she's only just started it, and she's so cute. She's adorable. She is so very cute, and she is doing a YouTube channel on her style. So if you enjoy fashion videos, how to put together outfits, she's currently uploading her wardrobe basics section or series, which is all about the different items that you have in your wardrobe and the categories that they fall into. So she's done shoes and pants and tops and jeans, and she's just got some really cute ones coming out. And then we have just finished filming some other ones where she is going to talk about some really useful skills for putting together a wardrobe. So I would highly recommend it. I think my mum is amazing, and I would totally recommend. I'm also thinking I might do a bit of a crossover between Waddle and Wool and my mum's A Classic Approach. Everything will be linked down here, and I might try and link it somewhere. And yeah, so I might do a crossover when I'm talking about my packing. So that leads me on to the final item that I brought with me today. And this is one that I thought you would giggle at, because I would giggle at me for. I went to a concert a couple of weeks ago, actually, because I haven't podcasted in forever, and I was going to be catching public transport to get there, and I was getting really, how do I say it, like, I've been having a fair time with my anxiety where I'm going pretty up and down, and my anxiety was pretty up at the time. So I thought, what better to bring as a cooling and calming idea than knitting? So I didn't know what to bring, and I wanted it just to be really simple, so I brought some socks. So this is I'm pretty sure this is the Wanderlust 2022 socks by Olivia and Oliver, and I'm using one of the minis from one of the years. I don't know, I put them all together. So this is like Antelope Mountain, I think. It's a beautiful grey, and I just feel like it goes together. I've barely even done it. I literally cast it on when I was on the train, so I have barely done any of it, but that's what I've been keeping in my bag for whenever I need to go for a little a little quiet moment, or if I need to keep my bag with me. And this bag is by Status Anxiety. I think I've talked about it before, Status Anxiety, which is ironic because I use it to calm my anxiety. And my friend Ilsa of Ilsa Knits, she actually like influenced me to buy it because I saw this one of hers and I loved it. So, or I saw something similar that she had and I loved it, and so I was like, I'm gonna go grab it. So this is my little like clutch purse thing that I carry around a lot, and it is reminding me of like just traveling and going around. So what I'm about to do when my voice does not break like a little child, what I'm about to do is I'm about to go home, and I will finish off the rest of this episode where I am going to do the giveaway, and then I'm going to tell you about some other things I am giving away. But the reason why I'm giving things away is actually because I am moving. So I've talked about this before. I am going to go traveling for about 2 years, and I am super excited for it, also super terrified, like so terrified. But I'm really excited. I'm really ready. I think this is just going to be such a great experience. And so I'm going to go to Europe. So I've already started booking and planning like where I'm going and some Airbnb stays. So I've got from Perth to Melbourne, and I'm going to see a beautiful Chloe of Wool & Works for her birthday. And then I was going to go to Brisbane and especially visit my family and the amazing Madeline of Mad About You. However, unfortunately, it just didn't quite work out, and so I've had to not do that booking. Instead, I'm going to go to Singapore for 2 days. I've never been to Singapore, so if you've got any travel tips or ideas, please tell me. Then I didn't know to go from Singapore to Riga, which is Latvia, which is where I am like heritage from, culturally from. Not culturally, I'm culturally Australian. Where my ancestry is from, and where I'm going to be staying for the next 4 months. So from May to about September. I didn't know if I was going to go through Munich or if I was going to go through Frankfurt. So I put up on Instagram and was like, and some people had some amazing advice, and so I'm now going to be going to Frankfurt for a few days. So I'll be spending about 2 nights in Frankfurt, which is super exciting. So I'll be booking those very soon, and then I've just got to book the final flights to Riga, and then I will be in my new home. And I am a bit terrified. So if you've got any tips, advice, suggestions of where to go to, suggestions of yarn stores as well in Singapore, which I don't think, or Frankfurt. So this is going to be my constant companion as I walk around and knit, because I can't not. I have found a few incredible places in Singapore on Airbnb that I am going to be staying in. I'm staying in a pod hotel, like a capsule hotel, for 1 night, which I really want to do, but I also know myself and I know I'll hate it. So I'm going to do it, and then I've booked like a conventional hotel for another 2 nights, just to see kind of what's around. And I saw on Airbnb that there was a like an Instagram tour, which sounds very Gen Z and young, but I also think would be really cool. So I kind of want to give that a go, but if I can, like, it is quite expensive, so if I can just put together an itinerary of like must go to places in Singapore that I don't feel rushed to go to, I feel like I can actually walk around and enjoy them, and cafes, because I love cafe culture, maybe that would be a little bit better for me. So yeah, if you've got any recommendations. What else was I going to say about that? Oh, I don't know what to collect. So I am a massive collector and I love souvenirs, and I'm thinking I want souvenirs from the places that I go to. So originally I did have a bracelet, and I collected things like charms for that bracelet, and I still want to do that. However, the thing with that is I feel like it can be quite flashy. It's a Pandora bracelet, which means it can be quite exclusive, so only certain things will fit on it. Some, if you buy the fake ones, they'll tarnish. Like, there just feels like there's a lot of iffy bits with it with me. So I'm not entirely sure. I'm not discounting that idea, and I still think a travel bracelet would be beautiful and to continue adding to the one that I've got because I love it. But I'm also thinking of widening it up and adding another form of souvenir. So I have got a list in my phone, which is not a big list, but I don't remember it otherwise. So I was thinking I can do a magnet, like a fridge magnet, but that also, like, I don't know, they're fun, but sometimes they're just like tacky. Christmas ornament, which I would love, but I don't love Christmas, so that feels weird. And if I'm traveling throughout the year, I probably can't find Christmas ornaments throughout the year, so that feels like it won't work. A mini skein, and a mini skein I would love to be able to put together like a cozy memories blanket, but a cozy traveler's blanket, which would just be beautiful. And I would absolutely love that, to do a mini skein from all the different countries. However, I know that I'm going to travel faster than I knit, and I'm going to travel to places that maybe don't have yarn. Like, a lot of places in Africa do not have yarn, unless they are indie dyed. Like, I know of some in South Africa and they're amazing, but if I'm going to, say, Sudan, I don't anticipate walking into a lot of stores, of yarn shops. At the same time, I know a lot of places, like I've been watching some people like Aran Knits from Aran Knits and Pearls. Ira, I believe, went to the Philippines. Or was it someone else who went to the Philippines? I think it was Ira. Oh, if I'm getting this wrong, I'm so sorry. But they were saying that in some of those countries, there's only really like big box stores. So there's like, you know, Michael's and Joann's or Spotlight and Lincraft, like those kinds of things. There's not really like mini skein places with really nice quality yarn. And I am a snob. I'm such a snob, and I know I'm such a snob. So while going to, say, Germany and doing the Stephen and Penelope shop in Amsterdam, I could 1000% get like mini skeins and say they are named for different countries. I feel like I can't really do that as feasibly in other places. So that kind of scales that out. And then the last one I was thinking would be little spoons, like the souvenir spoons. And I actually love little spoons. I'm obsessed with little spoons. I pretty much only eat dessert with little spoons and breakfast half the time with little spoons. I'm very thingy about them. So I feel as though that would be good. However, I don't know if places still do souvenir spoons. And I don't really know what the price would be for souvenir spoons. And I don't know what the weight restriction of souvenir spoons would be. Like, do I need to get them in a box and then send them home? I don't know. I do want them to be usable and functional, and I do think a souvenir spoon would be, but I don't know. So have you got random souvenirs from your travels? Have you got ideas? Please tell me below. Please comment, because I don't know, and I would like it to be functional, but I don't want it to be really tacky. And yeah, so I don't know. So this is me. I've had enough hair. Oh my god. I've got hair absolutely everywhere. Mohair and my own hair. And, oh, that's suri. But anyway, I've got hair everywhere. So I'm going to now pack up, and I'm going to go home, and I'm going to finish off this in the comfort of my very non-windy house. Hello. All right, we're back. We're back in the house, but I'm in a different room because I put all my stuff in here when I was trying to clean up that room. So we're just floating around the house today. I have so much stuff in here that I'm giving away. So I know it looks tiny right now, but there's like stuff over here, there's stuff over here, and there's stuff behind you on the bed. So bear with me. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. So first up, there was a giveaway that was going on all of last year. And I will be honest, I did not do it very well. At all. So there's a few things that, like a few mistakes that I've made that I want to be public and be open about, because I have now learnt for my mistakes. Number one, actually do the giveaway would be great instead of middle of May now, or middle of March, and not having done it. Number two, make it very obvious how to enter, because I didn't do that, and I feel like that's why a lot of people didn't do it very well. And so I was sitting in my feelings for a little bit and feeling big feelings, feeling very upset that no one had really entered. But then I thought about it and I was like, nah, this is my fault. I was the one who did it wrong. So thank you so much for those of you who did enter. And I have screenshot and I have gone through all my Instagram stuff to make sure that I've got everyone in there. So I've got a couple of entries. Quite a few people did enter quite a few times. So I have included all the different entries. Every time I could see you entering, I've included it. And so we're going to see who wins. So first up, the first prize. This is in this bag, and let's go through. I will show you what's in it, and then I'll number generate and see who wins. So there is this Stitchcraft and Wizardry. This is Phileas Jam's Fantastic Fig Jam. Phileas Fogg's Fantastic Fig Jam. And this is the colourway. I did have the I Like to Mauve It extra, however it got stolen when my car got broken into and stolen. So unfortunately I don't, but I will see if I can find a mini to go with. These are hand wound by Maddie of Mad About You, and they've got the waist yarn on. So these are a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful set that I'm really excited to give away. Along with that is this incredible bag. This is handmade by Ilsa of Ilsa Knits. And then this is the DK weight set, and this is kind of like the bluey theme. This is 100% merino fingering weight set, fingering mini set, sorry, from Threaded Embrace, and this is the earthen colorway. So these are the colors. They're all absolutely beautiful. And this is the DK weight mini set, and this is called Elegance. So again, really beautiful colors in here. This one reminds me of the beach. I just love it. And then there are, this one here is Stitchcraft and Wizardry, Where the Wild Things Are. And this is like a rainbow skein. This one is Wool and Works Rainbow Fish on her lace mohair. 72% mohair, 28% silk. And this is Rainbow Fish by Wool and Works. This is Rainbows and Sprinkles Mint Julep, and this came as an extra, a little thank you, so I thought it was only fair to give it as a giveaway. This is the Wool and Works Fairy Bread, which we all know is my favourite, and this is on her lace, same mohair silk base. Pretty straightforward. And to go with the fairy bread, I thought what goes better than another sweet thing. So this is some little donut stitch markers. And also, just for fun, my nails are a donut icing inspired. So that is a giveaway. That is all one. All one. I can't believe there's so much, but there's all one. So I'm going to put them back in here. Whew, sorry guys, it is a warm day and I am having to blot. So this whole bag is going to go to knit_1_2. They entered so many times on Instagram, so they definitely earned their entry, and thank you so much for coming along. I will notify you on here and on Instagram. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was so exciting to see you accomplish my accomplish along, if that makes sense. Number 2, and this is the pink set, or the purple set. And have them all over here. So sock number 2, again, the English please. The sock yarn is by Stitchcraft and Wizardry under I Am Passepartout. It was hand wound by, oh sorry, not hand wound, it was sock cranked by Mad About You, and again I did have the mini, it got stolen, so I will see if I can find something to do with. So this is the sock blank. Then these 2 are from Stitchcraft and Wizardry, but I cannot remember their names. So you have, I think this is something like Girls Don't Fart or something like that. And blessed be what this one might be, but they are both beautiful. These are 2 Dying to Knit. This one, no, they are both on the Luxe fingering base of 60% superwash merino, 20% silk, 20% yuck. So they're luxurious. This one is Rosetta, and this one is cerise, which means cherry. Oh, that's a good way of looking at it. Ha! This one is Karma Chameleon by Wool and Works on her lace mohair silk base. I can't English, but you know what I mean, hopefully. This is Botanical Yarn, and this one was just like an extra that came along with, and I thought it really fit these colours. So that is that one, and then there is of course a little Progress Creeper, and this is a little pug. which is my favorite dog breed. So that one there. And let's generate a number and see who this is from. This is for Tea and Leaves. So again, thank you so much. You really validated me, but also encouraged me, and I loved seeing your accomplish along. So thank you so much to both of the winners of this. I will notify you on Instagram and on YouTube, as I just am now, and I will get in contact with you to see what I can send your way. Alright, what to do now? I'm going to stick these in bags, giant bags, so that I know where they are. And then we're going to talk about more giveaways. So this is partly a de-stash, partly a giveaway, but I went through, now, before I show you, I will clean this up before I give it. I really, really, really will. And so I am showing you in a very raw state of not very niceness, but I will clean it up, I promise. So before I show it to you, I went through all my stuff and I was looking at my needles especially, and I was looking at what I will keep and what I will not keep. I am going to be living out of a suitcase for about 2 years. Yes, I would love to have a home base. I'm actually looking for jobs in Europe to teach, and I'm hoping that I can teach overseas. From what I've read, a lot of places will take an Australian teaching degree, and I've got 8 years, or this is my 8th, so I've got 7 and a bit years of experience. So I'm hoping I can get in, cross fingers. And so if not, I will continue studying my master's and doing that. But yeah, so the goal is to get into teaching. The goal is to get into teaching, and we shall see how we go. So I was thinking about it and I was like, right, what will I realistically be using overseas? And what needles do I want? I love the Chiaogu needles. I love them. I find them the absolute best. So I will be keeping all of mine because I feel like that's fair. And then I was going through my wooden needles. I spent quite a bit of money on the on the driftwood needles, but I'm pretty sure it's Leica. And I spent quite a bit of money on them, and they are beautiful. They are the blue driftwood set, and they're stunning. However, they're a driftwood, and so they're a softwood, and so sometimes, very easily, scratches can occur, which drives me insane. I've also got a couple that my kitten chewed on, because he was a kitten, and that's how they grow, apparently, by chewing on my needles. So I've got a couple that are a bit dodgy, and so I only really use them on some projects that I feel like I need a grippier needle, especially for, say, mohair. If I'm not trying to knit it fast, if I'm trying to meditate knit, I do find I need a grippier needle. Or for more like acrylic, or what did I just knit on? The lyocell bamboo stuff. I was trying to speed knit, so they were on metal needles, but if I was trying to enjoy the knit, I would have knit them on the Leica needles because they were just a nicer grip. So, looking through all my needles, I have got a whole range, and I've got a whole lot of stuff that I've been... So, looking through my needles and looking at what I will keep and what I won't, I've got a range of needles that I've bought over the year, a lot of them are knit picks from when I first started investing in needles, especially in circular needles. And there's a wide range in here. So I've got a range of, just a range of things really. Like if you look in here, there's so much stuff. So this is all going to be a giveaway. However, I would like it to be for a more a more beginner knitter, or someone who's just becoming to get confident. So if you know of someone, or if you are someone who is starting to be confident in your knitting, please reach out to me and I will very happily give this. I would like it to be in that. So maybe let's make the comment for this one. Getting good. You're getting good. Like if you're starting to use these, you're getting good. You're getting to a point where you're confident. You're getting to a point where you're like, yes, I can knit. Instead of like, what am I doing? But you're actually starting to get to a good point of like, you know what, I can branch out, I can get better at my knitting. Maybe you can't afford a lot of it. I'm in an incredibly privileged position where I can afford really nice quality stuff because I don't have much else to spend my money on except now traveling, which is, I'm still broke. But anyway, maybe you can't always afford more needles. So maybe these ones are going to be really helpful. Now, looking at my pile, I have like single needles. I have just one. So if I have just, like, I will give you everything that I've got in here. I will look through all my nooks and crannies and see if I can find any other spare ones that I've got, and they will be given to you because that is what I will do in this giveaway. So this little kit has kind of a range of beginning or getting good things. So I feel as though that is probably a really good word to use. So let's go through. I've got some knit picks, options, interchangeable majestic wood needle set. So I think the majestic was a particular one. Again, I need to clean up this packaging, but there's all except the 6mm in here. So that's pretty good. That's an almost full set. Oh, there is also a whole pile of stitch markers in here and progress keepers. These are ones that I still really like, but I just know that I have so many and I've tried to weed down to only the ones that I know I love and that I know I will reach for time and time again. And the ones that I have any doubt about, I've put into this case, little cat case that I got from Stitchcraft and Wizardry as well. So there's a whole pile of stitch markers in here, and this is all going to be inside the same giveaway. There's also this little yarn bowl or yarn mushroom that I got from Stitchcraft and Wizardry. It does have Stitchcraft and Wizardry engraved. It's a 3D printed thing, but it's kind of engraved. You can't even see it, but it's in there. And so you just pop it open, put your ball inside. Inside the little hole in here is where you get the yarn through. And it's got a little fairy door. There you go, you can see it. I just think this is the cutest thing ever, but again, I know I'm not going to use it. Or if I did, I would want it a little bit more hardcore. Like I'd want it more, I feel like this could be too fragile for carrying around. And so this is beautiful and I absolutely love it, but I feel as though it's not right for me. So it's going to be, again, given to the beginner knitter. Okay, back to my little kit. I have got all the cables in the world. There is also a fixed set on here, which are, does it say? Tiny, tiny needles. Tiny, tiny needles. Might be 2.5 or 2.25. I don't know. I can't read it, but they are tiny. And so all of these cables will be coming with because otherwise interchangeables don't make sense. The good thing about any of these is that if you do have any knit picks or if you have any Leica as well, they all work with the same interchangeable kit. So it means that you can use short ones, you can use long ones, and I've given you every single one that I know is from Knit Picks, which is the green ones. I've given you all of them. So every single one that I know are belonging to these sets, multiple, these will be with you. I have got a little shorty set with 2 missing, which are the 4s and the 5s, or US 6 and 8. I have no idea what they could be. I'm sorry. I do think I randomly break a couple of these as well, just in use. Or sitting on them too hard. I have a Katrina Cools washable tag, which are really good for putting onto your hand knits. I have an assortment of different wool washes that are in here as well. Every time Ash&Eve give a delivery, they come with these little like handmade tags and they come with lavender sachets. So these are going to be given as well because they're so important to look after your knits for the first time. I then have just a range of different needle sizing kits or gauge swatch measurements or whatever. These are so useful and so handy to have. These are just, yeah, incredibly important. I have not 1, but 2 different rulers or measuring tapes. Again, a vital necessity. I have pins in case you want to block your knits. I have the yarn end, the cable end to stop your yarn falling off your cables in case you need to put your project on hold or in timeout, as often happens to me. There's a whole pile of cute little handmade by gift tags if you gift. I don't tend to gift, which is why I've never given them. I am selfish. I have yarn holders, giant safety pins. I found one mini needle. What's this one? That's a 4mm, so US 6. There you go. You get one. I don't know where the other one is. No, hang on. I found it. Hey, how good. There's both of them. We put that inside now so I know that they're there. There you go. An almost complete set now. And hand cream, which is a necessity. This is Hand Food by Soap and Glory, which is a really good brand. And then around it you can see in the incredibly dirty bag that I will need to clean for you, but you can see extra little needles. So hopefully this should be everything a beginner needs to get good, to become good at knitting. If you know someone or if you yourself are a beginner knitter, please comment down below with get good. This giveaway is going to be open to absolutely everybody because I am traveling international and I may as well ship it international. There is so much goodness in here. Please, if you know a friend that this would be great for, even direct them to this video so that they could come and have a look. I will close this giveaway by the 31st of March. So today is the 10th of March and it will be open until the 31st. I feel like that is a good enough time that everyone can get in and have a look. So this whole pile of things are for you if you are a beginner knitter. I was gifted to give away a whole pile of Plurtalope. Plurtalope? No. Oh, what do you call it? Not Lope. I can't remember the word. Anyway, let me show you. So helpfully, because I'm a genius, I've managed to put my ones of these in a very big box and they're right down the bottom, so they are now squashed because I am helpful. Sorry for the rustling. I still cannot remember the name of this and I'm so sorry, but I was gifted these plus another one to give as a giveaway. And I have also got my own that I will be giving away, and they are more of a beige kind of taupe colour. I will insert a picture because I need to now go through that box, so I'll insert a picture for you. These ones are, oh my god, I'm trying to remember the name. It's really annoying. Tip of my tongue and I can't. These were really generously given to me to gift and I want to do them justice. So, this is just going to be the episode of giveaways. Episode of blankets, episode of big things, episode of deadlines, and episode of giveaways. This is going to be, let me think. So we've got Get Good for the beginner knitter ones and maybe Get Rustic for these ones. You can enter all of these giveaways, by the way. So Get Good and then Get Rustic. And so these are for the Lope, the unspun style. These are beautiful yarns. I have just personally found that I don't actually like knitting with them, but they are so fun to knit with. I just don't like them personally, and that's okay. It's a personal preference. So these are, you've got this amazing hot pink and then this really clean white. It's actually quite a clean white, and then this brown that has like tones of orange through it as well. And then the pink has tones of orange through as well. I find them absolutely beautiful. So these are going to be a giveaway, and then I will put up my ones. All of them will be given away together because that's what I will do, and it makes it easier. Again, an international opening. Yes. I will also put down below some of the conditions for giveaway, which includes things like you need to like and follow me, subscribe, because that is the point of a giveaway as well, that they do generate growth. And really the numbers don't matter because they are vanity metrics, but it would be really nice to expand my circle of my community. So if you do like these sorts of things, please do follow along. As I was getting up for the next lot of stuff to give away, my goodness, I just realized that I had more to give away for the beginner one. So this is a Swift, and what you do is you put it onto a surface like a table and you tighten this, and then you put the skein of yarn over and you widen it. You lift this up and you lock it in, and then it moves as you wind your yarn. I personally love this, but I'm not going to travel with it. So I'd rather give it to someone who I know will use it. If I need to buy another one, I can. I'm not that precious about it. This is a really good one from Knit Picks. I have personally owned it for quite a while and I love it. It does everything I need it to, and it's such good quality. So this one is going in the beginner one, and I will put that there. This is a ball winder. So you put the yarn through this little metal part onto the crevice in here, and then using this side, you also put this out, would be really helpful to not damage it. You wind it up. I have realized I actually really prefer to hand wind my balls. So this is really good quality. It's a Schrapier's. I actually got it on a discount because it was slightly scratched, and then of course it's become more scratched through use because that's what happens. But it is really good quality, and so again I'm going to be giving this in the beginners Get Good giveaway. Okay, so we've got Get Good, which is the beginning one. We've got Get Rustic, which is the unspun Lopi style yarn, which I still can't remember the name. It's okay. What's that one? Damn it, I'm not doing great with words today. Oh well. And then we're gonna go for Get Lit. And this one is gonna be slightly different because you're gonna tell me which book you would like. So I've got a whole pile. And you can absolutely have more than one. Some of these are great. Some of them I have loved, and so I have tagged with a whole lot of stuff. These are pre-owned books, so they are going to come pre-owned. I do need to make that really clear, that there may be highlight in them, or there may be a little tag in them, but they are free books, so grab them if you like them. The first one is 750 knitting stitches, and it's a stitch dictionary. This is amazing. You can tell I find them incredible, and I really love the way that this is put together. It has edges as well, and it has really clear photos with clear instructions underneath it. So this one would be great if you are considering becoming a designer. I would highly recommend this one. So this is going to be one of the ones given away. If you would like it, this is the 750 knitting stitches. Comment down below with Get Lit 750 knitting stitches. This is a book called Short Row Knits, and it is by Carol Feller. Again, I have marked which ones I really like. These are my personal preference. So I have given a 9 to a bag, I believe. Yep. The Sapra braided bag. I love it. I think it's beautiful. And then I personally do not love the cabled hat, the trio cabled hat. Just, it's not my type. So I didn't like it. I said it was a 3. That is my own personal rating. This one teaches you with projects how to do short rows. It is super helpful. I've constantly actually gone back to this to remind myself on short rows, and I think it's a really good skill learning development book. So again, if you like it, get lit, short row knits. Alice Starmore's Colourwork Charts for Knitting. Amazing. Amazing. Again, I know I'm not going to use it enough, but I've only used 2 colours, which means I really liked it because generally my colour system is colourful, not just 2 colours. This has a million different charts using a million different inspirations, and so you've got some traditional and then you've got some non-traditional, and I just think it is beautiful. There's a history side of it as well, and it's just stunning. Again, I love this one, but I know that I'm not going to use it or reach for it or probably miss it, which is why I'm giving it away. So this is the Alice Starmore's charts. Japanese knitting stitches. This one is more of a 3D knitting stitch one. So I do love the original knitting stitches. I don't love this book as much, but that's also because I'm not the kind of person who would go for these. And that's okay. I just simply don't knit these sorts of things. But there is different projects in here. So you've got from pattern to finished object. And I just think it's a really clever book. It's really interesting. I mean, there's some incredible swatches and incredible instructions in here. And there's colour work as well. If you are adventurous and you want to try something new, I definitely recommend this book. So that's the Japanese knitting stitches. This is a project pattern book. I bought this from, I believe it might have been Knit Picks, but it's the interweave one. And I love it. There is one scarf in particular. I'll see if I can find it because I love it. 94. This cowl is beyond amazing. I think it is incredible. So this is New American Knits, and I just think it is absolutely beautiful. It is by Amy Christophers, and she is amazing. And I wonder, did she design all of these? I think she designed all of these patterns as well, which is so impressive. Yeah. So she's designed all of these, and I just think it's incredible. So this New American Knits is a pattern book, and it's beautiful. Another pattern book is Matter, the Anthology, and this is by Carrie Bostic Hogue. It is just beautiful. I have reached for this so many times. I've made so many baby knits out of this for friends who are expecting, and it is a beautiful, beautiful anthology of different patterns and using one motif to repeat in different patterns. I think it's incredible. So this is Matter by Carrie Bostic Hogue. Lindholm Samso is one of the first designers I ever made anything from. So I have made, just looking at the back, I've made this Guernsey cowl, infinity scarf, and I've made a couple of her other things in here. This is, I think, the first pattern book I ever bought and knit something from. So it's got a really sentimental place in my heart, and I think Lindholm Samso is just incredibly intelligent and creative with her designs. And so I'm giving it away, but almost reluctantly. So if no one wants it, it's fine. I can keep it. Alongside her Perfectly Feminine knits, she also has Essentially Feminine knits. And I think I've also knit a few things out of here. And she's just, again, she's just incredible. She is an absolute goddess of design, and she's so intelligent. I just love these. So these are both by Lindholm Samso for Get Lit. Brioche. I love brioche. I absolutely love it. I bought this when I thought brioche was really hard, and then I realized it wasn't, and I now love it. It's probably one of my favorite techniques to do. So this one is by Mercedes Tarasovich Clark, and it's called Brioche Chic. It is beautiful. Her designs take you from beginner to pretty much expert, and they are beautiful, beautiful designs. So you start off with the techniques of how to do it. There's also different skills. For example, this one here, you've got brioche, but only on certain parts. You do shaping. You do techniques, so like technical shaping, and then you do colour work shaping as well. So this is really just amazing. You've got everything from an open work shawl, some lace in it, and then if I take you right up to the end, you've got a really incredible colour work hat. So there's some absolutely amazing projects in here that I highly recommend if you love brioche or if you want to give it a go, because brioche is one of my favourite things to do. I haven't personally used this book. I bought it thinking I would really like it, and I haven't had a need to reach for it. But I think if you were wanting to go into lace knitting, if you were curious about it, this would be a great one to jump into. This is the Complete Guide to Lace Knitting by Julia Reed. Again, I don't have much to say about it. I haven't personally used it, but I think it would be a beautiful book to jump for. Custom shawls. And this, for the curious and creative knitter, this is by Kate Atherley and Kim McBride Evans, two famous knitting names. And I just think this book is beautiful. There is so much interest. I'll show you the back because you can just see the different types of shawls that are coming out in here. I think this is absolutely beautiful. I have read through it and tabbed some of my favorites. I have never knit from this though. So I'd rather it go to someone who will use it. Knit to Flutter by Amy Herzog, maybe one of the first books I've ever bought, and is a classic go-to that I think any designer should have. Again, I know that when I travel, I will not need this book, and when I return, I can go buy this book if I need. However, if no one wants it, I don't mind holding on to it. This is a classic book, and it's amazing. It is like critically acclaimed by every designer I know, or I've ever like heard of. And she just takes you through with really simple instructions exactly how to change and modify knits for an amazing body shape. Really similarly, Top Down Sweaters by Anne Budd is another classic book that is critically acclaimed pretty much and is a classically amazing book. Some things I really love about it is it's spiral bound, so it will lay flat. So when you're using it, it lays flat for you. Again, I've read through it, I've tabbed it, I have gone back to it a few times. I just know that I wouldn't personally keep using it, and so I would like it to go to a home of someone who loves it. So this is the Get Lit section. If you like any of these, please comment down below and they will be yours. The last giveaways. Oh my God. It's not even giveaway anymore. It's just de-stash. The last lot of things to give away. These are little minis and mini skeins. So this is going to be under Get Mini or Get Small. Yeah, no, Get Mini. I like Get Mini. Under Get Mini. So we've got Get Good, Get Rustic, Get Lit for literature, and Get Mini. And these are, I've got two different bags of minis that I'm going to be giving away. I have to admit, I actually wanted to give these away in conjunction with releasing a pattern, but it just hasn't worked out, and my life has become way too hectic for me to be an effective designer, which is actually like releasing patterns. I've just been designing and stockpiling drafts, which is not actually the way to do it, turns out. So I will be getting back onto that, but for now, I would rather give these to a beautiful home of someone who will love them. So, this pile in here, these are a couple of different advents, I believe. And I've got a pile of different advents in here. These ones are Knit Crate, when Knit Crate used to send out the little minis. And like that is Circus Tonic advent. And then this is a really sweet gift to me from Down Under Dyer. So this is kind of like a sample bag of just amazing dyers and what they have to show and what they have to offer. This is like the rainbow one. This is all very bright. I don't know if you can really see in here, but they're all quite bright colours. I'm showing you literally the darkest ones. That's not helpful. There's some quite bright colours, some quite fun ones, and this is going to be the rainbow one. So Get Mini Rainbow. This one here is more, again, beautiful colours, but more of a muted palette. So I'm going to go Get Mini Dark, even though I'm going to now show you more rainbow colours. I don't even know what's going on. But some of these are quite big minis, again, from Knit Crate. I think this one might have been from Wool and Works even. I've got quite a range in here of just different minis that are going on. So this is more of like, it is bright, but it's like a darker palette, whereas the other one's more of a brighter palette. So this is going to be Get Mini Dark. The other thing with this pile is I have some previously used balls or skeins. So these ones, these are a range of different weights, and they're all going to be in here. I'm just going to send them all. That's a Chloe of Wool & Works Karma Chameleon, this one. So there's a whole range of different ones that I will be including in here. Really, if you like scraps, minis, any of that, then this is for you. If you don't, it's definitely not your giveaway. So we've got, let me go through it again, just because I need to keep it straight. We've got Get Good, Get Rustic, Get Lit, and please tell me the names of the books that you want to get lit to, and Get Mini. So we've either got the rainbow, or we've got the one that I just showed you, which is the scraps one, and that's going to be Get Mini Dark. And I think that is probably enough for this episode, because there's a whole lot going on and this is going to take forever to edit. So if you would like to enter any of these giveaways, can you please make sure that you do like, follow, subscribe, all of that, because it is a way that I can see that you're following and actively engaging rather than just jumping on for a giveaway. I would prefer it if you did that. That would be really lovely. Please and thank you. So please do like, thumbs up, and make sure you comment down below so that I know which giveaway you're going into. I have also previously, when in my bush section, I have also asked you for some recommendations of what souvenirs to get. And my recommendation is that you hit follow on my mum's fashion videos, because they're just amazing. Thank you so much. I've recorded another little bit of just knitting with me and chatting about school and work. If you don't like it and if you don't want to, that's totally fine. But I just thought I would include it anyway, just for fun. My voice is crumbling and going. Thank you so much for just being you and being a part of this journey with me. And congratulations to our 2 winners who I announced at the earlier part of this section. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye. So let's have a quick knit and chat, and let me tell you about my life. I'm going to put this at the end of the video, so if you are not interested, thank you so much for being here, and if you are, let me tell you about what's going on. So I am packing, well, I'm planning to pack. I have not been effective at anything lately, and so I do actually need to do a whole lot of packing. So what I'm going to do to make me accountable is I'm going to do a time lapse of all my packing. I might stick it at the end of this. I'll definitely put it on Instagram in my reels, because I want to know how much yarn I need to put in my suitcase. I'm going to be planning my projects for where I go and making sure I've got enough. So that's going to be hilariously fun. I am loving my work right now. I am loving my work. My students drive me insane regularly. Like every single lesson there is some point where I'm like, oh my god, like, But it's fun because they're so cheeky and energetic, and there's always something new. There's always something new. Sometimes not in the good way. Sometimes not always fun. But there is always something new, and I just love it. I just love my kids. I love the adventures they take me on, and I love watching their resilience grow. And so I just wanted to, just sit in gratitude for a minute and just be so grateful that my students are so incredible and marvel at their immense capacity to love and to forgive and to grow and to teach resilience so much beyond what they should. And it's so interesting to me. I've been watching, I've been listening to a lot of commentary about teenagers these days, and people are like, people are so self-centered these days. And I'm like, yeah, but surely we've always been like this. Surely us as a human race, we've always been self-centered. Surely that's not a new thing. I struggle to find this as a new idea. But every day I can find something good, or I'm reminded of something beautiful. And every day I'm just so proud of my kids. For example, there's a group of students I used to teach last year, and now they're with another teacher, and they'll get frustrated and they'll walk away. I know this doesn't sound like a big deal, but my kids have got the mental capacity to go, I'm frustrated, give me 5 minutes, I need a break, and they can walk away, and then they can re-engage. They set themselves back. They're like, yep, cool, I'm gonna go back into class, I'm gonna go back inside. Like, I know it sounds small, but emotional regulation is something that I do find myself really difficult, and my students find really difficult. And the fact that they are so able to mentally adjust, it actually just warms my heart. I have a student, and for the first semester, I only wrote his name on his work, and there was nothing else on the page, nothing else, just my handwriting of his name. And then the second half of the year, he started trying, and he started passing, he started succeeding, and he was a bit like, oh, this isn't that hard, I can do this. And I was like, yeah, dude, I know you can. And now he has just completed with the rest of the class basically a 2-week assessment where we were making notes, and then we had 2 lessons of work. He had an emotional moment on one of the days and couldn't complete his work. So I called home and was just like, hey, just checking on him, making sure he's all right, because he had this time and this thing was going on. But also, can you let him know that the next lesson he's going to come back in and do his test with me? And he came back in and he was like, miss, let's go, let's do the test. He actually came to me another time during that day, which I didn't teach him, and he was like, miss, let's do the test now. Like, I'm ready, I want to do it. For a kid who a year ago was arguing with me and fighting with me over, I don't need an effing pen, and now is coming to me on his own time going, hey miss, let's do a test. Hey miss, let's go. He came up to me a couple of weeks ago and goes, hey miss, you're gone, right? You're leaving. And I was like, yeah, darling, I'm leaving for about 2 years. So I'll be back when you're in year 11. So you're year 9, you're year 10, I'll be back in your year 11. And he went, all right, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to this school, miss. I wanna leave when you're not here. And then I'll come back to this school and we will do year 11 and 12. And I was like, oh, we will we? Like, this is a we thing. And he was like, yeah, we'll do it. I know it sounds silly, but the fact that this kid put his faith in me and trusts me that I will get him through year 11 and 12, that I will support him, that I will be there every damn step of the way, which I will be. Oh my God, that it just warms my heart. It makes me unbelievably proud that my kids have that much faith in me and that much trust in me, and that I've earned their respect. Like that, that's huge. It fills my heart. It just fills my heart when my kids are caring and selfless and open and kind and beautiful. And I'm just so thrilled that I get to have this amazing opportunity of being in their lives, and I get to see them grow. I have story after story after story after story of my incredibly resilient and incredibly amazing and incredibly intelligent kids who maybe aren't getting A grades on their tests but are so smart, and they are navigating life in ways that adults struggle to. And these 14-year-olds are navigating hectic situations with so much gentleness and grace, and I'm just so proud of them all. So if you're one of my kids watching, freaking love you, man. And if you're a parent watching, you are so needed and you are so important in your kid's life. And remember when you were 14 and you would have a fight with your mum and then you would go inside and cry because you didn't actually want to fight with your mum? That's what we see. We see these kids, we see them trying to navigate an adult world with an adolescent brain, which is definitely not fully formed. And we see the amount of love that they want to give to everyone. And the confusing ways that they give it, because sometimes they don't make best choices, and they're just amazing. So I just wanted to sit in gratitude for a minute and just talk about how amazing my school is and my kids are and my life is with these amazing people. Yeah, so that is like that side. And then there's other life side. So there's family. My family's amazing. I love my family. I am so blessed to have an incredible family. My friends are incredible. And I am so scared to leave because I'm going to miss them so much. I regularly cry at night. That sounds really sad. I do. Like, I have tears at night. Just in gratitude or in deep feelings about the fact that when I go, I'm going to miss my family, and the absolute excitement that I have to travel and to go and to explore, and the absolute excitement I know my family and friends have for me to go and travel and explore, but also the deep sadness and I guess like FOMO, like the deep FOMO of leaving my family and moving without them, and just what's going to happen and all of that. So I don't know, deep thoughts for a Friday afternoon, but that's where we're at today. I really hope you are doing well. I really hope you are having a wonderful day. I hope you can get out into the nature wherever you are. If you are in Europe, maybe in the nature heated somewhere. It seems quite cold. If you're in Australia, I hope you can get out into the garden, into the bush, feel grounded, feel connected with nature, because it's such a beautiful element to be in. I'll see you very soon. Bye.